Inter Milan have become the latest club to express an interest in Tottenham Hotspur defender Jed Spence, with the Serie A heavyweights reportedly weighing up a move for the fullback during this summer's transfer window. Tottenham Hotspur have returned for pre-season with a fresh look behind the scenes at Hotspur Way, as Roberto De Zerbi has quickly begun implementing his ideas and reshaping the atmosphere at the club's training complex. And Tottenham Hotspur have turned down 3 inquiries so far for promising striker Will Lankshear, with Roberto De Zerbi keen to retain the highly rated youngster as part of the club's long-term plans. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below, and if you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And please make sure you turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live or upload a video to the channel. And one final request: if you do get a spare moment, please do nominate and vote for us at the 2026 Football Content Awards. All of the details are below. Your support, as always, is really appreciated. Okay, let's get into it. Fabrizio Romano has stated that Inter Milan have emerged as the latest club monitoring Tottenham Hotspur defender Jed Spence, with the Serie A giants reportedly considering a move during the current transfer window. The Italian club have been impressed by the England international's rapid development and versatility, believing he could strengthen their options on either side of their defence. Spence enjoyed a breakthrough campaign at Spurs after finally establishing himself as a regular first-team player following several loan spells away from North London. His performances earned him a new long-term contract and an England call-up, significantly increasing both his reputation and market value. Inter are attracted by the 25-year-old's ability to play at both right and left back, as well as his pace, athleticism and attacking qualities. Those attributes are believed to fit the tactical demands of the Italian club, who are exploring options to strengthen their defensive ranks this summer. However, Tottenham are not expected to let Spence leave easily. After fighting his way back into the first team picture, he is viewed as an important member of Roberto De Zerbi's squad, although increased competition following several defensive signings could leave questions over his long-term role. Inter's interest is currently at an exploratory stage rather than an advanced negotiation, with no formal offer yet submitted. The report also indicates that other clubs are monitoring Spence's situation, meaning Inter could face competition if they do decide to press ahead with a bid. Everton have also recently been linked with the defender, while Juventus have previously shown interest. For Spurs, any decision would depend on both the size of an offer and De Zerbi's assessment of his defensive options ahead of the new season. Unless a significant bid arrives, the expectation is that Spurs would prefer to retain one of their most improved players as they prepare for another Premier League campaign. Via Football.London, Tottenham Hotspur's return for pre-season has already received a noticeable transformation behind the scenes at Hotspur Way, with Roberto De Zerbi wasting little time in stamping his authority on the club's training ground. Supporters may have spotted a significantly different atmosphere compared to previous summers, reflecting the Italians' meticulous approach as preparations for the 26-27 campaign gather pace. One of the biggest changes is the increased intensity and structure of the training sessions. Players have undergone extensive fitness testing before moving on to demanding sessions on the grass, with De Zerbi and his coaching staff placing a strong emphasis on tactical work, technical drills and possession-based football. The revised training methods are designed to instill the manager's philosophy from the very first week of pre-season. You can also spot the visible influence of De Zerbi's expanded coaching team, with far more staff actively involved throughout sessions. Training has become more detailed and organised, with the players receiving constant instructions as the new management team looks to build high standards ahead of the new Premier League season. Several of Tottenham's new signings have already joined up with the squad, although club record signing Sandro Tonali was absent from the opening sessions due to his extended break following international commitments. Meanwhile, the rest of the returning players have begun adapting to the demanding new regime as competition for places intensifies. The early signs suggest that Hotspur Way has undergone more than just a cosmetic change. De Zerbi's arrival has brought a fresh energy and a new level of intensity, with Tottenham hoping the revamped training environment can lay the foundations for a vastly improved campaign after the disappointments of recent seasons. Tottenham Hotspur have rejected 3 separate approaches for highly rated striker Will Lankshear, underlining Roberto De Zerbi's determination to keep hold of one of the club's brightest young talents. According to Football.London, Sporting, Wolverhampton and Southampton have all expressed an interest in signing the 21-year-old, but Spurs have made it clear they are not prepared to sanction his departure at this stage. Lankshear's impressive loan spell at Oxford United last season has significantly boosted his reputation. The young forward enjoyed a productive campaign in the Championship, attracting attention from clubs in both England and abroad, who believe he is ready to make the step up to regular first-team football. Despite growing interest, Tottenham are keen to assess Lankshear throughout pre-season before making any final decision on his future. Roberto De Zerbi wants to take a closer look at the striker during the training sessions and the club's summer tour before deciding whether he has a role to play in the first-team squad for the 26-27 campaign. No formal bids have yet been submitted, with inquiries understood to have been initial approaches rather than official offers. However, Spurs are aware that interest is likely to intensify if Lankshear continues his development, and the club could face further attempts to prize him away before the transfer window closes. Lankshear's homegrown and club-trained status also works in his favour, making him a valued and valuable member of the squad under Premier League and UEFA registration rules. Unless a substantial offer arrives, then changes Tottenham's thinking. The current expectation is that the striker will remain in North London while De Zerbi decides whether he is ready to make the breakthrough into the senior side. Okay, here's my thoughts on those stories today. Gone a little bit quiet, I must be honest. Certainly with the incomings, well, not many outgoings either. A bit of a lull at the moment. I don't think anybody should be worried about that. It's probably just a natural wave of the transfer window. I'm sure things will heat up soon, what with pre-season starting very, very shortly and players returning from the World Cup, of course. But we're going to have this little lull, but you would expect that Roberto De Zerbi will want players, certainly the big game players, the ones that we've been linked with, the forward line we all want additions to. I think that we're going to be getting over the next couple of weeks that it's going to start building again, because he's going to want to take those players on the pre-season tour. But for now, we are where we are. There's interest certainly in Jed Spence, as that article stated. Last few days, actually, there's been a lot of interest in Jed Spence from abroad, from Everton. Sides looking at him, and I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, because his stock is rising. He's had a really good World Cup so far. It doesn't sound at this stage like Spurs want to let Spence go. I personally think it would be mad to let Spence go, because you've got 2 quality right backs, and of course Spence can play at left back as well, but you've got 2 quality players there in Porro and Spence competing for one spot. Every manager surely wants that. So look, we don't 100% know about Roberto De Zerbi's desire to keep hold of Spence. How highly he rates him. But from what I'm led to believe, that he does like Spence. So I can't see Spurs letting Spence go this summer. I think they've just sorted their defence. I would imagine there will be more defensive outgoings perhaps, but I don't think it's going to be Jed Spence. At least I hope it's not, because I think Jed, as I say, we all know he's had a great World Cup so far. I want to keep hold of Jed Spence. I've been a fan of Spence since he came to the club. So I just hope the club hold on to him. It shows real intent when you actually hold on to some of your best players, of course. Hotspur Way getting a change. We all know that's been being renovated currently because they felt that the atmosphere in the areas, I think Vinay Venkateshan came out and said it, didn't he, that it was too cosy, too nice, almost like a 5-star resort, like a hotel complex. And having been around there myself, it does have that sort of feeling about it. Our players getting too comfortable almost. More, I wouldn't say more professional environment was needed, but there was something not quite right about it, obviously, that the management looked at, and they're now making changes to that, and De Zerbi pretty much said the same. So perhaps Spurs do have to go back to basics. It's a bit like Rocky 3, wasn't it, if you remember that film where Rocky was getting too comfortable, and he went back to basics in the old gym in LA. I'm digressing, I know, but you know what I mean. They were saying that the players were too comfortable. We've heard that many times, haven't we, over the years, that Spurs is just too comfortable. We pay good wages, or decent wages anyway, and players no interest in moving on at all, because Spurs is a nice place to be, which is nice to hear, but does it actually garner that winning mentality? So let's hope these changes actually improve the training facilities and help the players become better players. And finally, the Lankshear bids, or not really bids, but expressions of interest, essentially. Not surprised, Will Lankshear's had another good loan spell last season. It's going to be interesting to see the likes of Lankshear, what De Zerbi does with him. As stated in the article, I think he's going to be going on the pre-season tour and have a good look at him. Could he see that Lankshear is ready to become a permanent member of the first team squad? Perhaps you would think it would be as a backup striker. Is Richarlison going to be going out? What's going to happen with Solanke? We just don't know yet. Is Lankshear going to have a Harry Kane style pre-season all those years ago and somehow fight his way into that first team squad? Not sure Lankshear's there yet, but the amount of interest in the player, teams are noticing what he's been doing. So let's see how that one goes. I personally, again, would like to keep hold of Will Lankshear. I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him. I certainly don't want to sell him. I wouldn't want to see the club sell him. If it means another loan, it means another loan, and see how he gets on. Perhaps it is a year too early for him, but look, let's see. Get down in the comments, let me know what are your thoughts on Will Lankshear. Would you want to see him move on, or do you think that he's due a chance to impress De Zerbi? I certainly think he deserves a chance to impress De Zerbi and the coaching staff on the pre-season tour, and then take it from there. That's all from me today. Get down in the comments, let me know how you're feeling as a Tottenham Hotspur fan right now. And as always, come on you Spurs.